Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Emerson Unitarian Universalist Congregation. I'm Mary Klein-Golbetz, and I am honored to be your worship assistant today. We are so glad that you are here. Whoever you are, and wherever you are on your life's journey, you are welcome here. Whomever you love, wherever you were born, whatever language you speak, you are welcome here. Whatever the color of your skin, your background, or your abilities, you are welcome here. We are so grateful that you have chosen to spend this morning here with our Emerson community. Thank you. We come together in worship to slow down, to listen deeply, and to open ourselves to the calling of our hearts and our spirits. If you're here in person, we invite you to join us for social time following the service for light refreshments. Our main fellowship hall is downstairs directly behind the sanctuary. You can reach it through the hallway. And our family-friendly fellowship hall with snacks and activities for all ages is upstairs in room 214, accessible by the back stairs or the elevator. And if you're not here in person, but you're here online, we're welcome you and we're grateful that you're with us today. After fellowship time, we invite you to join us for religious exploration and small group gatherings as listed on the back of your order of service. It is really such a joy to be here together in community today. Our chalice is our symbol of Unitarian Universalism and our commitment to be a beacon of love in this world. Clark Thomas has graciously agreed to join us as we light our chalice with words by Kimberly Ann Carlson. We are a people of memory. As inheritors of our ancestors' legacy, we hold their stories tenderly. Gleaning wisdom from diverse journeys, united in hope for the future, guide us to trust and love as we kindle this flame together. Thank you so much, Clark. Sure. Hopefully you can hear me. And now, in the spirit of love in the beloved community, let's share our congregational affirmation. We need not think alike to love alike. And let's greet and welcome each other to this new day. Those in the sanctuary, feel free to turn to your neighbors and offer greetings. And if you're online, feel free to introduce yourselves in the chat. We are so honored to have with us today Reverend Dr. Qiyamah A. Rahman. Reverend Dr. Rahman is a longtime Unitarian Universalist minister, writer, and researcher whose work centers Black UU women's histories, spiritual resilience, and social justice. She has served congregations and communities for more than 18 years and is currently developing a major historical study on Black UU women in America. She has been joining us regularly at Emerson, and we are so grateful to have her as part of our community. Welcome.
Good morning. Our opening words this morning are from the Reverend Dr. Hope Johnson. Unfortunately, we lost her during the pandemic. This reading is titled One Love, and it's from Voices from the Margins, an anthology. We are one, a diverse group of proudly kindred spirits, here not by coincidence, but because we choose to journey together. We are active and proactive. We care deeply. We live our love as best we can. We are one. Working and eating and laughing, playing, singing, storytelling, sharing, and rejoicing. Getting to know one another. Taking risk. Opening up. Questioning and seeking and searching, trying to understand, struggling, making mistakes sometimes, paying attention, asking questions, listening, living our answers, learning to love one another, learning to love ourselves, apologizing and forgiving with humility, being forgiven through grace, creating the beloved community together. We are one. Blessed be.
Good morning, I'm Bruce. We are going to now stand or rise in voice and spirit and sing our opening hymn, We Will Carry You. It is not in the hymnal. This is the last week of our learning a new hymn. So we'll hear it again, but not for a while. So stand if you're able.
Looking for shelter in the
Now we pause and reflect upon matters of the heart. Thank you, Clark, for helping with the stones. For this morning's ritual, we have water and we have river stones. The stones are smooth and the stones have weight. They're indicative of both life's pleasures and times of ease, as well as life's burdens and times of heaviness. The water receives these stones with ease and with calmness. Each week, you are invited to write a joy, sorrow, or concern in this book, which is usually back there, to be read or shared with the congregation. And you can also email a joy or concern to pastoralcare@emersonuu.org. We begin by placing 3 stones. The first is in honor of the Cherokee and Muskogee nations of indigenous people whose lands we reside on. The second is in memory for those wrongly enslaved here who labored on this land. And the third is for all those hurting in current conflicts across our globe. And another stone for a joy from Carol Buffum and Reverend Jeff Jones. They say, "Thank you to Emerson. What a joy to be at Emerson on Thanksgiving Day for the 3rd annual Vegan Community Thanksgiving Potluck. We shared an amazing meal and deep conversation and connection with Emersonians and friends from across Metro Atlanta. We are so grateful to this congregation for being such a comfortable, welcoming space for like-hearted people. We are looking forward to continuing this tradition in the coming years." And for the first time since I've been here, there's nothing written in this book. But I think we should put a stone in for all the joys and the joy of being together and of Thanksgiving, and another stone for all that remains in our hearts, for all those said and unsaid. Thank you, Clark. And in thankful awareness, let's say the Buddha's prayer of loving kindness. Please read the words with me that are printed in the order of service. May we all be filled with loving kindness. May we all be free from harm and suffering. May we all be well in body, heart, and mind. And may we all be at peace. Blessed be.
The offering that we take each Sunday is an opportunity to recommit to our faith. Our offering is an affirmation, a yes. When we give, we say yes to something we value. Our offerings help us practice Unitarian Universalism within and beyond our congregation as tools to bring more love to the world. Each week, our offering is equally shared between our congregation and our partner organization. This month, we are partnering with El Refugio. El Refugio accompanies immigrants at Stewart Detention Center and their loved ones through hospitality, visitation, support, and advocacy. They envision a world without immigrant detention. Choosing love over fear, El Refugio stands in solidarity with those directly and indirectly affected by immigration, detention, and deportation. Their work is grounded in the ethics and values of nonviolence. For those in the sanctuary, as the basket is passed, please feel free to offer a donation or see in your order of service other ways to give. For those online, go to emersonuu.org and then select the Giving tab to donate. And for anybody who's interested, as the basket comes around, there are lollipops in there too, not just for the kids. And help yourself, and we thank you very much for your generosity.
Good morning. Can I get the young and the young at heart to come up here for our story? Look at all of you coming up here. This is a good morning. Makes me happy to see all of you. I hope you had a happy Thanksgiving. How many people ate way too much on Thursday? I thought so. Yeah. All right. Mr. Knoll is our storyteller today, so I'm going to give the time to him.
Hey, what's up, little ones and slightly bigger ones? Today we have The Talking Cloth, with pictures and story by Rhonda Mitchell, originally published in 1997, which means it is old enough that I actually heard this in the library when I was your age. Yep. Shout out to Miss Book, who I guess probably could have only been a librarian or a cop. Aunt Phoebe has things and things and things. There we go. Check out all those things. A collector of life, Mom called her. Daddy says she lives in a junk pile. Reminds me of your room, Amber, he says. I like visiting Aunt Phoebe. There's no place in her house to be bored, and she always gives me mocha to drink. Daddy says it will stunt my growth. Aunt Phoebe tells him, mocha is named after a city in Yemen, and this child just grew an inch or two inside for knowing that. Aunt Phoebe knows things. She tells me stories about her collection of life each time we visit. I sip hot mocha and listen, imagining all the people and places that she has seen. Today we sit in her kitchen, and she tells about the basket of folded cloths in the corner. I bought these in Africa, she says. Daddy laughs. I figured that was laundry you hadn't put away. Aunt Phoebe smiles and takes the cloth from the top of the basket. She unfolds it with a flourish, a long magic carpet. It runs like a white river across the floor. You don't really get the full effect in there because it's like cut in half. Check out the book. Impressive, right? What do you do with such a long cloth? I ask. You wear it, says Aunt Phoebe. It tells how you're feeling. This cloth talks. How can it do that? By its color and what its symbols mean, Aunt Phoebe tells me. This is a Dinka cloth from Ghana. It is made by the Ashanti people, and at one time, only royalty wore it, she says. Aunt Phoebe rubs the cloth against my face. It's silk and smooth. I imagine myself an Ashanti princess. The cloth is embroidered in sections and hand-printed all over with small black symbols like words. A white cloth means joy. Yellow, gold, or riches. Green stands for newness and growth. Blue is a sign of love, but red is worn only for sad times, like funerals or during wars. Maybe I should wear red when your daddy comes to visit, Aunt Phoebe says. Daddy laughs and pours himself some mocha. He likes to listen too. I know it. Aunt Phoebe tells the meaning of some symbols on her cloth. One says, "Except God, I fear none." That's called Gai Name. Another is called Obi Nika Obi. I offend no one without cause. Each symbol speaks of something different, like faith, power, or love. Oh, this picture. I imagine claws with my own symbols on them. Fred, he's my little brother, should be dressed in green for go, with grubby little handprints all over. Everyone can see what kind of a mess that kid is. Aunt Phoebe's little brother is my daddy. Let's see, she says. Guess we could wrap him in gray pinstripe cloth for seriousness with squares on it. We all laugh imagining that. I ask if I can put the Adinkra cloth on. Of course you can, baby, Aunt Phoebe says. When you're older, you can have it for your own. She wraps the Adinkra 3 times around my waist, then across one shoulder, and still it drags on the ground. A cloth this long is a sign of wealth, she tells me. Daddy says, Amber, you'll need to drink a lot of mocha to grow tall enough. Well, Aunt Phoebe says, this child has grown a lot inside just today. Look how long that is. I smile thinking of it. This cloth means joy. I am an Ashanti princess now, and here is all my family and everyone who has ever worn an Adinkra, gathered all around me. Yep. There we go.
Nicely done, nicely done. All right. So before we sing our song of dedication, the words are on the back of your program, and anyone who is on 7 or under can meet me in the back, and I will take you to the playroom. All right? Thank you, Mr. Knoll.
we prepare for our centering meditation, this prayer was inspired by my colleague, the Reverend Chip Roosh, when over 500 clergy stood in witness at Standing Rock in 2016 and 2017. Today is a good day to pray, to be in quiet reflection, to set aside the distractions of our lives, to hunker down for a minute and listen to the steady beat of our hearts. Today is a good day to pray. Perhaps if we are still enough, we can contemplate and imagine the blood running warm in our veins, or maybe even the mysterious activity of our cellular structures breaking down and miraculously reproducing, breaking down and reproducing. Air flowing into our nostrils and mouths almost unnoticed. Today is a good day to say thank you. Thank you for the air we breathe, the clean water that many of us are privileged to enjoy, and the food that nourishes our bodies. Today is a good day to say thank you for blessings great and small, for friends and loved ones that grace our lives, despite the death toll in Palestine, Haiti, the Ukraine, Ethiopia, and so many other places. Perhaps you have not achieved what you had hoped in your life. Perhaps you are dealing with unruly relationships, unfulfilling jobs, loneliness, and some of life's disappointments. Yet our challenges often make us forget to be thankful for the small blessings. Most of us do not have to dodge bullets in Chicago or Somalia. Most in this room do not have to scavenge for food or walk miles for water. Today is a good day to say thank you to those that have stayed the course, our activist LGBTQ plus siblings that continue to fight the good fight despite the onslaught of homophobic legislation and policies. We are grateful for those fighting ICE that have learned to bend but do not break, that dedicate their lives to the inherent truth that our immigrant siblings' lives matter. And so we take time this morning to say thank you for the tireless efforts that sometimes may go unnoticed. Today is a good day to pray and silently say thank you for all that is sacred and dear in our lives, and to thank whomever and whatever is sacred and holy to you, to remind ourselves that all it takes for evil to be triumphant is for us to do nothing in its presence. May we never assume silence in the face of evil. May we seek courage in the face of despair and hopelessness. May we remember and claim the power of love and the strength of all that is good in community and in humanity on this Sunday morning and in the days to come. Today is a good day to pray and say thank you. Amen, Ashe, blessed be, and so it is.
Don't leave a sister hanging. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. One foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. One foot in front of the other and lead with love. up. Keep moving on. Keep moving on. We gotta put one foot in front of the other. One foot. One foot in front of the other. One foot. And lead with love. We gotta put one foot in front of the other. One foot. And one foot in front of the other. One foot. And lead with love. And lead with love. And lead with love. And lead with
in me recognizes and greets the divine in you. In the African tradition, specifically the Akan people of Ghana, there is a mythical bird named Sankofa. Its head is turned backwards, and its feet faces forward. It literally means go back and get it, fetch it, reclaim it. Get what? Reclaim what? Get your knowledge, your life lessons. Sankofa represents the importance of learning from the past. A new year is almost here, and I'm beginning to reflect on my past, to think about my future. So this morning, I invite you on my journey to do just that, to go back to see what my 33 years as a Unitarian Universalist Black woman has been like. I had been attending Hillside International Truth Center in Atlanta in the late 80s and early 90s. I had joined and gone through the new members orientation. I was nervous because I knew I was not a Christian, and they were. But I had not found anything or any place else where I was comfortable. However, over the years, I had noticed these flyers advertising Unitarian Universalists, and they were always connected to social justice issues, and that was important to me. So one morning, having moved into a new neighborhood, my youngest daughter, Kalima, my son, Muhammad, and his best friend and I all showed up at the Unitarian Universalist congregation of Atlanta. And at that time, they had a church in the round. You could sit any place in the sanctuary and see everybody. And I noticed that we appeared to be the only blacks present that morning. So we got towards the end of the service, but by then my son was seated to my right and his best friend was on my left because they had gotten too chatty during the service, and I had to separate them. It was January 1991, and Reverend Dr. Edward Frost was speaking about Dr. King's legacy. We stood to sing, "We Shall Overcome." Everyone began to spontaneously join hands, and there might have even been a little bit of swaying going on. I got a real strong urge to turn to my right. I looked straight into the face of my son, and he had this hurt expression on his face. So upon further inspection, I noticed that his right hand hung limply by his side, and the gentleman next to him, his left hand hung limply by his side. In that moment, I was already giving the minister a little piece of my mind as to why I was never coming back to this church. As we made our way down to the receiving line, I ran into a coworker, Barbara Burnham. Barbara and I knew each other because she was the director of the refugee program, and I was the director of the family violence program at the Division and Family Children's Services. Of course, I told her what happened, and she apologized and told me she didn't think that it was racism, but there were individuals in the church that were not touchy-feely. That helped a little bit to assuage some of my feelings. And then she told me something that changed my life forever. She told me about Thurman Hamer Ellington, an intentionally diverse congregation where I might be more comfortable. I followed her suggestion, and in the days, the weeks, months, and years to come, I filled almost every role possible. I facilitated meetings, I served on the board, I put together worship services, I preached and connected with the larger world of Unitarian Universalism. I was even invited to serve on the Unitarian Universalist Women's Federation Board, which is a national women's organization. THE helped me to continue my healing process from childhood trauma to abusive marriages and the racism and sexism that told me I was not enough, not pretty enough, not smart enough, not good enough, not enough. Messages that Black women routinely receive in our society, in our sexist and classist and racist, homophobic, and ageist society. My faith formation began at home with my mother as the resident theologian. Mom was a preacher's kid from Hawkinsville, Georgia, and she took her job seriously. Bedside prayers were a part of our nightly routine. Blessings over our food, a ritual that helped us remember and demonstrate our gratitude that we had food to fill our bellies. And we were in church several times a week. Growing up, family was held together by the powerful rituals of Bible stories, Sunday school, worship services, food, and Sunday visits. Church for the adults was a refuge from the day-to-day struggle of being Black in America. For the children, it was about Bible study and instructions on the values and morals of right and wrong, followed by playtime with our friends. Church was where I made my first speech. Jesus died that we might live, then arose new life to give unto all who will believe, and the Spirit just receive. I claimed my first accolades as a public speaker. It was where I conducted my first meeting, held my first office, and experienced the surrogate parenting of church members. Unlike many that come to Unitarian Universalism having experienced religious trauma and not wanting to hear the word God or the sight of a Bible, that was not my experience with religion. Yes, there were things that I was taught that I no longer believed, but I simply took what I believed and left what I didn't. Just as my life has not been static, neither has my theology. What I believed when I was a Christian attending Greater St. Stephen's Missionary Baptist Church, and later in life as a practicing Muslim for 10 years, and now as a Unitarian Universalist, my theology is vastly different. I often joke that if Unitarian Universalism had not existed, I would have had to create it. My beliefs have changed and will probably continue to do so until I die. You see, to shape a theology that represents one's personal mission and vision, a theology that would leave the world a better place, actually requires intentionality and some work. It requires asking more than, who am I? But also questions like, what is death? What is life? Who's in charge here on earth? What is good and evil? What is knowledge? Are we alone? And then continually asking and listening and living into the answers, which are as important as the questions. As Unitarian Universalists, our theology is Unitarian. God is one. And Universalism, all are saved, and love is abundant and available to everyone. The term theology refers to reason or discourse about God or the study of God. And the purpose of theology is to establish, maintain, and celebrate order, meaning, and purpose in human living. Yes, as Unitarian Universalists, we are creedless with no dogma. But be very clear, don't get it twisted, we are a faithful and moral people, although we do not have a commonly shared theology. From the outside, Unitarian Universalism looks easy peasy, but it is challenging to forge a theology that reflects your beliefs, absent a designated sacred text to refer to. And if you do accept one, like the Bible or Bhagavad Gita, to be able to comprehend why and how it is relevant to your beliefs and practice, that's an immense undertaking. Building one's theology is harder than being handed one. As you know, there are multiple theologies within Unitarian Universalism: humanism, agnosticism, naturalism, mysticism, atheism, Buddhism, Hinduism, Judaism, paganism, Christianity, just to name a few. As a young black woman growing up working class in Detroit, the insurrection of the 1960s, and my strong Judeo-Christian orientation, all that directed me towards social justice issues that fostered connections and solidarity with oppressed peoples and thus social change. Furthermore, I assumed that metaphysics and activism were incompatible. I didn't know. I thought I couldn't be spiritual and an activist, and I didn't understand the distinction between organized religion and spirituality. So I dismissed religion, put it on the shelf, and I immersed myself in Marxism-Leninism. I traveled to Cuba for 3 months with the Venceremos Brigade in 1972. However, fast forward, the most defining moment in my spiritual life was 9/11. Many years later, after 3 marriages, 3 children, working as the district executive in the then Thomas Jefferson District, now known as the Southern Region, I thought about the individuals who had lost their lives so abruptly, and I asked myself, if I had been killed, what would I have regretted not doing? The answer was pursuing ministry. The following year, I applied to Meadville Lombard Theological School's modified residency program. I have evolved from a theology of damnation and hellfire to claim mystical humanism, a term I created. I personally believe there is a force outside of myself and others in the universe that is available to humans to co-create our living experience. Some call it universal consciousness, God, infinite intelligence, the great I am, the almighty, higher power, Holy Spirit, or no name. It sometimes lures us toward good, our inherent good that speaks to our sense of humanity and justice. This universal consciousness is not gender specific and it is not human. Now, these are my opinions. It is not a sentient being, that is, it does not have feelings and emotions. It is an energy in the universe that we can tap into, and it is based on concrete laws of the universe. This energy, in my opinion, will not defy laws such as the law of gravity. So if I jump off of a 10-floor building, I will die. So I can't expect it to alter my ultimate outcome. but it is possible through meditation and prayer to alter an individual's state of consciousness and mind, to change the cellular makeup of our bodies that might be producing some life-threatening diseased cells. I believe that's what occurs when we hear about miraculous healings. Since everything is made up of energy vibrations, I believe we have the power to heal the body and direct cells through vibrational energy if the injuries do not defy the existing laws of science. On the other hand, I don't know why some prayers are answered and some are not. I don't know why all of us are present here today while others have transitioned and died. Hence, the mystical part of humanism. You see, theology is not static or one-dimensional, and it's not simple either. In the 1980s, yours truly walked on glowing coals in the popular fire walk. Meditation and prayer allowed me to experience a reality beyond the comprehension of our five senses. Approaching the fire and the sight of those glowing coals, I had to claim a reality different from what I was seeing. This is an example of African American elders' maxim saying, "Walk by faith, not by sight." Unitarian Universalism has allowed me to take the best from the faith traditions that I have embraced. Christianity taught me through the example of Jesus about love, compassion, and the desire to be a servant leader. He taught me about righteous anger as he challenged the corrupt money changers in the temple. Islam taught me the discipline of prayer as a spiritual practice pursued 5 times a day. It taught me balance in all things, because they said moderation is key to life. Most surprisingly, it gave me the power of women's community. Yes, because of the separation of sexes, I grew to appreciate and love women's spaces that are very rich, and I learned about sisterhood in Islam. You see, my calling has been a lifelong one. My grandfather was a Baptist minister, but it was really my mother and grandmother that were my role models. My grandmother recognized my budding spirituality and encouraged me early on. We had children's prayer services at her house in the summer. She would bake cookies, and I would invite my little friends over and lead them in Bible study. I read from the Bible, and we interpreted scripture and sang songs, and we mimicked the adults in church. Years later, when I told my sister that I was going into ministry, she asked me, "Who called you?" You see, she was a Pentecostal evangelist. I said, "We don't exactly do it like that." "No, who called you?" She insisted, and she continued to insist. I was beginning to get a little irritated. I tried to explain what I was feeling and why I felt the urge to pursue ministry, and I felt she was bullying me a little bit, and I was angry. It was a long time before we spoke again, but in that time, I thought a lot about her question, and here is my answer. Who called me? The ancestors called me. The battered woman and trafficked child called me. The Trayvon Martins, the Sandra Blands, the Breonna Taylor, and George Floyd called me. Every person that is silenced by violence and oppression called me. I am called to stand with the oppressed. I came to Unitarian Universalism because of the social justice orientation, and I have stayed because of the theological diversity that allows me to explore and ponder life's questions. And now in my 70s, I get to write about and talk about what I have learned and to gather the stories so that those that come behind me might know that we were here. Black Unitarian Universalist women were here, small in numbers, but we were here and we made a difference in some small ways. That is all any of us can do, is to try to leave the world a better place. In closing, I wish to express my gratitude to Unitarian Universalism, the theological container and the community of individuals that have held me over these 33 years. It has not always been a happy relationship, but this is my home, and you all are my spiritual tribe. I quote from my book, The Rough Side of the Mountain, Black Women's Ministries in Unitarian Universalism. I cannot help but believe in an existence beyond myself. What I call that which has changed over time has evolved and transformed. My life has become a journey of faith, of trial and error. My survival is a miracle, and I am not supposed to look this good after all I have been through. I've still got some mess, but I am truly blessed, and for that, I am thankful. May it be so, and blessed be. Ashe.
All right, as the hymn leaders make their way up here, that's your cue, Ann. In the hymnal, you'll find our next song, Wayaya, on 1020. The lyrics will be on the slide. Rise in body or spirit if you're able, and sing with us.
In the spirit of Sankofa, I invite you in the days to come to reflect on your past, to inform how you want to show up in 2026. May what you remember shape how you live, how you love, and how you rise. May it be so, and blessed be. Ashe.
Clark, will you help? Thank you so much for helping us today. And as our chalice is extinguished this morning, we extinguish this chalice, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts and out into the world until we are together again. Please join us next Sunday when Emerson's Buddhist group will be leading the service for us all. And please also mark your calendars for the annual winter holiday pageant featuring the children and youth of Emerson the week following. This year's pageant is titled Winter Cake. It promises to be a really special event. And we have one more announcement from Patty.
Hi, Patty. What's this about a survey, and what's going on with the Committee on Healthy Ministries?
Hi, Peter. I'm on that committee on Healthy Ministries. Healthy Ministries is one of the few committees that our bylaws require us to have. It collects information about the health of our congregation, just like a medical doctor. It lets the board know the blood pressure and temperature of the congregation. The survey helps collect that information by asking congregants how they feel about what's happening in the community, the committees, the activities, stuff like that.
So the survey tells the board and the minister what people are happy about?
Yes, that's right. And also about what changes people want to see and even what they are frustrated about. That way, the minister and the board can stay informed on what people want, need, and are excited about.
That is actually a great opportunity to let folks know what ways to improve and what programs to develop.
Absolutely. The survey only takes about 8 minutes to fill out. You can do it online, or there are paper copies that will be with the greeters next week.
Thanks. I'm going to fill one out right now. If not sooner.
And you can, because it's already online. Next week, we will have a QR code in the order of service. There will also be a QR code on the bulletin board outside of the office. In the notebook, you will see a little button. You push the button, and the survey will be there. So we have a timeline. We have until about January 8th to get that in, but the sooner the better. And then we can let our leaders know what's going on and how you all feel about things. Thank you very much, and thank you, Peter.
Good morning. I'm Jennifer Prisbilla with the Social Justice Leadership Team. Emerson is again partnering with Save Lives Resources, which is an organization that supports survivors of domestic violence and sexual abuse and elder abuse. We're supporting their Angel Tree this year. A link will be provided in the notebook. Short turnaround time. If you'd like to support a family, please bring your unwrapped labeled gift by next Sunday. I will deliver them. If you can't do that by next Sunday, you can drop them off at Live Safe by Wednesday, 4 p.m., and that address will also be in the notebook. If you have any questions, let me know. Sorry for the short turnaround. Thank you for all you do. Thank you.
Thank you for organizing that. And now, as our service ends, go in peace and take peace wherever you go.